In the last video, I showed you how to create this part, and hopefully you've had a chance to create a cool and unique and different kind of shape, something that's interesting. The next step that we're going to do is take this and make it into a sheet metal part. And while we're not actually, for the paper lantern project, going to create a sheet metal part, we are going to use many of the same concepts where we have to bend and fold and cut at certain points. And so we're still going to use the same kind of pattern for that. And so with a part like this, what I'm going to do is click in the upper right, and I have the option for a sheet metal model. And the symbol looks like, kind of like a bended piece of sheet metal already. And from there, it's going to ask me to do a few different things, and we're going to use convert. We already have a part. What we want to do is make this kind of a shell and make a sheet metal, a flat pattern out of this. And so I'm going to select my one part that I've already created. It's going to ask for faces to exclude. So if I were to have made, cuts out of this, and there's certain areas that I don't want to be part of the actual sheet metal part, I can actually click on those. So for me, I'm actually going to click on this top face right here. And that's because if I had a candle in here, I can't have it in an enclosed space. I need a spot for the candle to be able to put the candle in. In this case, I'm going to use the top. It also, again, if I had a lit candle, all that heat can escape out of the top, and we still have a lit up piece of paper. The next thing that it's going, and we can click on numerous different faces if we want to exclude, but we don't need to. The next thing we can actually click on is edges or cylinders to bend, and you'll notice that it went from this was blue, and then as I click on it, it turns blue from red to blue. That's really telling me that before I can actually finish this process, I need to be able to, I need to tell the computer some information. I need to click somewhere. And so for edges or cylinders to bend, I'm thinking about where I want to actually bend those parts. And by default, all the joints are actually ripped and completely separate. So it's like we're trying to make this out of all these individual parts, which is not only a little more difficult, not super efficient with our material. And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to click different places, and as you can see, I've expanded this sheet metal window. Once we get into the sheet metal part, we can actually see that show up. And what I can do is actually just click on different corners, and you'll notice that I'm starting to get my part all put together. And what I'm going to try to do is keep clicking on these different corners and parts and all of that, and try to make it so that I can get all of these parts all put together. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. And so let's see. So as we're going, I'm just trying to get these parts, and they will be kind of separate at different times, but really just trying to make a fairly compact shape overall. And so I can see what my flat pattern will actually look like if I do that. So I'm kind of rotating and checking out my different views and seeing how I can hopefully get all these parts to kind of fit together onto one pattern. And you can see I'm starting to get these all really together. Sometimes we're going to run into an issue where it just doesn't fit well. And like, let's see, for example, like right here, you can see it disappeared. I now have a warning that says sheet metal model cannot be unfolded. All I really need to do is, kind of select that last thing that I had, and hopefully I can get that back and try again and try something different. And so I'm going to actually add in and click on these and see. All right, what I'm trying to do is get it so that all of these are in kind of a compact shape. And so there we go. That's pretty good. Yours might look different, but hopefully it is similar, because you can see a lot of folds, and it gives me all this all together as one part. And then from there, really, we're kind of done. We have our flat pattern, we have our sheet metal part, and we're just going to have to think about how we can add different tabs and where we're going to tape. We're really trying to minimize the places we tape for this project.